What's up, guys? So I just got on watching Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, and with this being the 7th film in the franchise, we follow Ethan Hunt and his team try down a weapon before it falls into the wrong hands. And I gotta say, with this film, this was incredible, and for the stunt work and the action and so much more. And even with this franchise, I keep getting better and better with each entry, especially with the man Tom Cruise himself, who never fails to deliver, especially with the stunts that they pulls off, especially with this film, and even with Corey and with his direction of the film, it was awesome as well. And so this will be my quick reaction and review for the film. Obviously, no spoilers, and going over my opinions and my thoughts. We just everything about the film, even with this franchise as a whole as well. And so if you're new to the channel and you enjoy something like this, be sure to subscribe to the bell. So on video videos like this. So let's get into it. And now, going in this film, this franchise has been running since 1996, making the longest running franchise, especially with Tom Cruise, who never fails to deliver with the stunt work, and even from the first Mission Impossible all up until now, with every mission that goes on, and even with every mission that he chooses to accept, and even with that, so and even going in this film, it delivers so much. Even with the whole purpose of this film is with Ethan Hunt and his team to try out a weapon, which is a key that has everything that controls the world, and with so much more. And just even with the film overall, it definitely delivers, especially as great performances coming out of everyone, especially from Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt himself, with everything else that was just so well done. And now I want to talk about the man Tom Cruise, as this man never fails to deliver, especially making this franchise better and better with each entry, and even with the stunt work that he pulls off is so cool, and also adding meaning and layer to the story as he makes his movies for audiences as well. And even with the action that he pulls off, that it never disappoints, and even with the stunts that are pulled off in this film, from Tom Cruise himself. It's definitely awesome as well, as this man is in his 60s and still doing dangerous stunts like this. I mean, I enjoyed a Ghost of Protocol and Fallout, as those movies are took it to the next level. But even with this film, it's definitely a lot crazier, and even with the stunts that are even more insane. And now I want to talk about the performances out of everybody, especially as I enjoyed Haley Atwell's performance. She really brought her best, and even with the chemistry that she has with Tom Cruise, it's very well done. And even with the chemistry, it just looks great. And even with the car chase in Rome being the highlight in my favorite part of the film, as a behind the scenes work of what went into making these a bit of crazy action stuff, and he's stunts, especially with the car chase in Rome, and even with all that, it just looks so good. And even with her character as very well put together, and I just really enjoyed her performance. And now I want to talk about the action and the stunt work that went into so many, because even with this franchise, I keep getting better and better with entry, and even with everything that was pulled up in this one, it's more insane and crazy, and even with all the dangerous stunts that are pulled off, and even with the action, because I was watching this in Dolby Cinema, and even with the sound or with the action, everything like that, my seat was vibrating, because this movie was made for the screen, and even so, as I love the song where Tom Cruise was right almost off a cliff into a bass drum, and plus there's behind the scenes stuff on that, and even with the train fight, and even with the train sequence, I just really enjoyed all of it, and with everything else that went into the making of this film. Even from that insane motorcycle drama in the train sequence, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that went into making these stunts and make them come to life, and especially with this 7th entry, and it just never fails to deliver. And even with them being pulled up in the film, and there's simply incredible, and even involving a train and being the destroyed, and even with it being off the bridge, and even with I seen a motorcycle stunt, and even with I having like lots of prep going into that, I thought everything else was just so well done, and even so, it was so incredible. And even with the Eugene Kentridge in this film, I saw he did like a really good, and like plus he's from like the very first Mission Impossible film who assigned Ethan his mission. Now I feel like in this film like he does appear in some parts of the film, and I just really enjoyed his presence, and like even I did brought him back for the seventh film. Even with the rest of them as well, including for Benji and Luther, and like these two have more screen time and chemistry with each other as they're like the main tech heads of the group, and so especially with this plot involving AI and how it plays into the plot of the film, and so especially with also play Rebecca Ferguson, and I really enjoyed her performance, especially with Ethan Hunt and his team as they go on missions together, and even with this film as a whole, I just really enjoyed everything at this film. I had to pull off, and even with this like machine like involving AI, and even with the ski, and I just enjoyed everything about it, and it was so well done. And now even with Palma Clementov, as we know her as Mantis from Guardians, and like she was like a really great baddie, and even with her going under Ethan Hunt and his team, and like, even with a solo like she did great, and even with Isaiah Morales as a villain, like he played a great villain's role, trying to like destroy Ethan Hunt, and with everything that he loves, and so especially with everyone that I knows, and even with the film, I just wanting more, and even with the action and everything, I mean, plus I was never bored like during this film. I was really entertained, and especially with this film that had like a long run time, and even with that, so like I said, this film never disappoints with the action, and even with the plot of the film, and even with so I think the stunts and everything, and that's all worked out extremely well, and even with the chemistry with these characters, it was really cool. Even with the movie and just everything else in general, I thought this was really incredible. Even with the stunt work and the action, and just kept getting like crazier and insane, and like I think that this movie deserves to be seen on the big screen as possible, and like even with everything else, I just that delivers it extremely well, especially with like the third act and how this is gonna go into part two, and plus there's only like part one of the two-part movie, and like even with so as I like the third act, even with like the last hour of the film, it definitely blew me away with the stunts that are pulled up, so especially from Ethan himself, and even with his entire team, and just like everything else, I just really loved. Especially with like comparing this to Fallout, and like that was like my favorite entry in the franchise, especially with the helicopter chase, and even with the insane motorcycle chase, and even with that, so like that was like a great movie, but even with like this movie Dead Reckoning, like it's had more crazier and insane stunts, as like this franchise just keeps getting ever better and better, and even with so I thought that this movie delivered so much more, as like even like with like Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation of Fallout, and now with this film, it just like keeps on taking it to the next level, and even I just love everything about this new film. Even with this film that led me wanting even more, especially after a cliffhanger of how it sets up everything perfectly to go into part two, and I think in part two we're about to witness some insane and more crazier stunts, especially from Tom Cruise himself, and even with him being the Daredevil and doing all these crazy stunts, and like I can imagine for what they have in store for the next film, like a Dead Reckoning part two, and even with the story, like I thought it was very cool, and even like about this will conclude the story and everything else going into part 2. With the film from start to finish, I was definitely hooked onto the story and with the way that this movie wanted to be told, and like, even as with everything else, I was really intrigued to what this plot was, and I just enjoyed everything else about the film, and I definitely wanted more, especially as I was very entertained. And yeah, no, with the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, I thought this was a fantastic. It was incredible, and even with the insane action and stunts this movie pulled off, especially with like Tom Cruise that just never fails to deliver, and it does not disappoint as he keeps on making this franchise better and better with each entry. I think with this film that it requires like multiple viewings, and even this movie deserves to be seen on the biggest screen as possible, especially as I saw this in Dolby Cinema, and even with that stuff, I think it was a great film, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else does as well. And so that is going to be for this video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and how excited are you from Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and so especially if you've seen the film, let me know in the comments below, and how would you rate between 1 and 10. Give this video a like and subscribe and turn on notifications about future videos, and you also follow my socials, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.